Yes, I do believe that Russia has not achieved its objectives. It has spent a lot of money in these elections, but the results show that they failed. And it failed because of the joint effort of the state institutions, of the media, of the press, of the civil society. So it was really a response by the entire society to these attempts by Russia to interfere. And you have seen investigations by the national, by the local press. You have seen investigations by the international press. We have proof of the money that Russia spent or wanted to spend. And of course, we have proof of attempts to bribe the voters in different regions of the country. Well, of course, it's the democracy is clean, should be clean, and the elections that we fought for clean elections. How would you see the situation when, over the last 20 years, the genuine vote from the Transnistrian region is 15 to 20,000, and then suddenly, and you hear from the regime in Tiraspol that people from the Transnistrian region should not participate in the elections on the right bank of Dnistru because they don't recognize Transnistria being part of Moldova. And then suddenly they are all concerned about, hundreds of thousands of people that need to vote. How would you see the situation when none of the political parties or the political parties which are not supported by Russia are not allowed to go to the Transnistrian region and to campaign? How would you ensure a proper democratic process? It is very clear to us that, and we have done our best to provide the conditions for the people from the Transnistrian region who have been genuinely participating in the election process for the last, as I said, 15 to 20 years, to come and vote. And they have been able to do that. But when Russia organizes a massive vote-buying scheme, it's easier for Russia to do it on the left bank of Dnistru because the Moldovan police is not allowed to go there. The Moldova Anti-Corruption Center is not allowed to go there. So how do you make sure that this is the decision of the Moldovans and not the decision paid by Russia? It's not an easy question, but let's look at the figures we had in the past and let's look at the genuine vote. Unfortunately, Moldova decided to join EU and is taking serious steps towards EU in a period when Russia is very aggressive. Other countries were luckier and they started their EU integration process when Russia was less aggressive and was busy with its internal domestic issues. Of course, it is much more difficult for us. We haven't seen that much interference by Russia when other countries were joining EU. And that's why the referendum last year was so difficult for us, because there was a massive propaganda, anti-EU propaganda financed by Kremlin. That's why the elections this year, of course it's not going to be easy. We do understand that Russia is not going to change its attitude towards EU, and what Russia is doing today in Moldova is not only about Moldova, it's against EU first of all. But we want to keep this country stable. We want to keep this country part of the free world. And no matter how difficult it is, and no matter how big the pressure from Moscow is and will be, we will continue, because we believe in peace, and EU is a peace project, because we believe in freedom and democracy, and that's the choice of the Moldovan people.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.